How you guys doing? I took a nice shower. Oh man, eyes, I can feel it burning. I think we'll do one more episode and take a short nap. Okay, so we're gonna continue with improvising. Okay, so far you should be able to do this, something like this. It's kind of picking freely on the ukulele, right? Just notes. So there you go. Today what we're gonna do is, well, not today. This is my third video today, so I'm trying to catch up. Okay, so we're gonna go over that pattern I showed you in the previous video. So right here, and we're gonna cover another one that kind of looks like this. Okay, so two patterns in this episode. Let's get started. All right, so let's get started. So we're gonna start with this one. Your E note, this is actually C string space number 4. And then pointer finger, I'm using my middle finger here, finger number 2. Okay, then finger number 1, I'm gonna go on the E string space number 3. This is your G note. And then E string space number 5 with finger number 3. This is your A note. And then on the A string, high C, right? Finger number 1, space number 3, and then space number 5, finger number 3. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so just take a minute. I would say play the track and just get comfortable with this. Here's a few cool things you can do. One thing I like to do is slide from D to E. So I like to enter this way. So I'm sliding from D to E. Basically I'm going D, G, D, G. But the way I do it is I'm sliding. Okay, so I like this entry. I use this quite a bit actually. Practicing. I mean, of course, in a regular solo, if I was singing a solo, I wouldn't intentionally try to, do the same technique over and over and over to, until the listener gets tired of it. But when I'm practicing, of course, I'm gonna just get comfortable with this. Okay, so you run the track, you try this. And whatever you do afterwards, it doesn't matter, right? Okay, so you do that. So this is kind of a cool slide entry, I like to call it. Another thing that I did before, you guys probably noticed, was the bend. So what I'm doing is, I'm gonna bend on D. So I did mention, I talked about bends before in one of my previous episodes, but yeah, 3 fingers here, pick, and bend the strings up. Okay, so you say, oh, I like the bends. So now we're gonna focus on bending and then just picking some notes in this pattern. Okay, so sounds something like this. I'm going pretty quickly, so don't think that just because I showed you how to bend and just because I showed you how to slide, you should be able to connect it right now, okay? So it takes time, but one thing at a time. Practice the slide and just spend a few minutes on this. You know, you play the video thing, just practice this. Practice this entry thing. Now you want to practice the bends. Okay, focus on that. Best soloing. I'm a little, I don't know, my brain is slowing down a little bit. My eyes, I can feel it getting a little smaller. But, okay, so, we got this part, we got the bends, okay? Now, just in case if you are thinking, okay, you understand, I'm doing this slide thing, the entry, I'm doing the bends, and you're thinking about what am I doing in between that, okay? You're supposed to have been practicing this exercise before, right? All of these new techniques. So picking all these other notes in between the techniques shouldn't be an issue. If it is an issue, that means you move forward too quickly. Okay? So basically you should get good at this. Comfortable with that already, just doing something like that, right? And now you're slowly adding in this little slide technique. Okay, so I'm kind of doing the same thing. Now I have this new technique in there. Okay, and the next one is the bends. And it's the same approach. Okay, I'm doing the same kind of solo, but now I got the slides and I have the bends. So I want to get comfortable with the bends. You should be comfortable with the bends. It was in a episode, I don't know, maybe 10 episodes ago. Okay, so same thing. So hopefully in your head you can kind of understand the steps, like, okay, maybe you can't do it exactly like this yet, but now you know, okay, just gonna practice this. Just, you know, play that play along video and you just keep doing that. Okay? And you're gonna get comfortable here. Okay. Oh, another cool thing I like to do too is from G to A. You can hammer on or slide. But I do hammer on here a lot, so. You see that? So if I use it, I'll go slow first. Maybe something like 2, 3, 4. Hear that? These hammer on 6, so now put it together. Okay, so if I were to solo over here in this pattern for like a good 3 minutes, you're gonna hear a lot of things just kind of repeating over and over and over. Okay, so that's why you don't want to stay in one pattern for too long. Okay, so I think that's a lot right there. You should be able to do that. You should be spending a lot of time trying to do that. Okay, the next pattern. Okay, this one is. This is a regular pattern. I can't remember the name of it. I want to say Mixolydian. So basically a scale, like I believe, I can't remember the names. It's so long ago, but like your C major scale is called, I think it was called like your Ionian scale or something like that. C to C. Then when you use the same notes, but you go to D to D, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. I think that was called your Dorian scale. And then when you go to E something, I know there's a Lydian, can't remember, there's a Mixolydian. It's weird. I mean, I don't know all the names of the scales. I kind of forgot. But for me, I just know all the notes on my fretboard. So I kind of felt like, you know, if instead of using this pattern here, so this would be like your F major scale. I know my notes and I know the scale, F, G, A, B, flat, C, D, E, F, okay? So, I think the way that I'm teaching soloing and improvising is different from the more traditional ways, which is to learn your scales and learn all of that. I don't know, I mean, I don't really know too many ukulele players that just stick to scales. I don't even think Jake sticks, I mean, he knows all his scales, but when he's soloing, I don't think he's thinking like, oh, you know, okay, this scale. Oh, now I'm going to go to the Mixolydian scale. Oh, back to the Dorian scale. Oh, the Lydian scale. I don't think it's like that. You actually just want to learn your fretboard, learn all the notes on your strings, and create your own thing. So there is advantages to using scale patterns because, for example, something like this that I did earlier, I'm sliding to an E, from a D to an E. The regular E is open. I can't slide to this E. So it's good. I like to use this E. I like this pattern. Okay, but anyways, let's move on to the next one. Okay, so this is actually starting G. This is on your C string, space number 7. And then I use my third finger here. Same thing, C string, space number 9. So 1, 2. And on your E string, it's 7, 8, 10. You guys can try that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And finally on the A string, 7, 8, 10. So it's the same as the E string. Okay. Okay, so this is another one. If I just stay in here. like a new technique. If you notice, I'm doing like a hammer-on pull-off and a pick. Okay, so this is kind of a cool thing. Like to me, when I get to these different sections or these different patterns, it allows me to do different techniques. And that's kind of how I use these different places, these different patterns. So I can't do this. I can't really do this anywhere else. Oh, I shouldn't say that, but to me, this pattern, the way that I practiced it, was to allow me to do these kind of things. So, if I just play it. Okay, so, same thing, right? We're not doing anything fancy, just try to get your fingers used to the pattern. Okay, and try to find these little riffs that you like. Okay, same thing, so same approach. And now I'm going to show you guys some of the different techniques. So one of them is, so if you go on the E string, okay, here's what I'm doing. I'm picking and the hammer-on technique. Okay, we learned this already. What I'm going to do is hammer and kind of with my middle finger pull down. You hear this small sound? So I'm holding the string up with my pointer finger and I'm pulling down with my middle. So 1, 2, 3. Yeah, this is your hammer. So that's your hammer, so you can try it. So I'm kind of just using this hammer-on thing, and that's kind of what I want to feature in my solo. So I usually don't stay in here in this area too long, okay? So now, let me ask you something. Let me see if you can figure this out. Okay, when you're playing something like, so you know where I am right now, right? I'm using this pattern, and I hit this note right here. It's up to me to think, am I just playing my notes? Or am I in this new pattern that we just learned? Okay, so these patterns actually share notes. So when you're here, you know, you have to think, where am I going to go from this note? Am I going to use this pattern? Or am I just going to treat it like I'm, you know, just playing the notes in the scale? Okay, so right now the idea is you go back, you listen to the play along video, and then you practice your the slides, bends, hammer-ons, and try to create a solo that you're comfortable with in this area. Of course, I wouldn't make the solo too long because then you would be repeating a lot of things. But let's say, go back to my Bob Marley thing. Hey, Bruce, take a solo. Is that right, Bob? rounds. So off today. Okay, so that's my solo and I'm done, okay? If I had to go another 2 rounds, I would probably want to get out of this area. Maybe just play notes. Or where am I right now? I'm already back here. Okay, so as you see my fingers moving when I'm soloing, and it looks like I'm doing anything I want. It's not really, I mean, I'm just not lost. I don't know exactly which notes I want to play, you know, like I wouldn't be able to play the same thing twice, but the thing is I'm not lost, okay? So, you know, a lot of my previous students kind of get that impression, and I remember having that impression too, like when I asked Jake, like, wait, what was that in your solo? Because I learned how to play the whole song, but I didn't learn that part. And Jake was saying, oh, I don't really know exactly what I did because I just make it up as I go. So you think, wow, you just made it up. And then you try to make it up, right? So you go, okay, I'm gonna try to make something up. Okay, and then you go, wait, it doesn't sound, wait, what if you made it up? I tried to make up a solo, it sounded terrible. And because, no, if you're in the C major, if you're in the key of C, you have to use a C major scale. So that's usually the first thing you learn, and then you start thinking like, oh, okay. And because of that, you think the notes are the most important things in your solo, but it's not. Okay, especially not in this case, right? Assuming that we're on the same page where you're trying to create like this free-flowing solo, right? In a song like this, because it's a completely different approach to a ballad, okay? So, but we're not there yet. Okay, so all I want you to practice for now is, if you're ready, this pattern with the slides, the hammer-on, bends. Okay, and then when you get comfortable, you can move on to this side. Or the hammer-on, pull-offs, and pick. You guys can try something like that. Okay, so you got these 2 patterns. Okay, so if I put my finger right here, I can tell myself, okay, I know this is A, so I could think of it as my notes. So I'm putting my finger, I say, okay, I'm using the regular, I'm just going to pick my notes. I'm going to stay away from patterns. That's fine. But if I start here, I could say, oh, this is the pattern. So do I want to stay in this area? Okay. And then if I'm continuing, and now I'm here, what do I want to do? Do I want to use this scale? Or do I want to just stick with the notes? So you see how like my fingers are moving, and no matter where I am, I kind of know where I am, and I know my options, and I'm not lost. I'm not like, oh, what do I do next? Tick, 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 tick. Oh, where am I? You know, so you don't want to get lost like that, okay? And bottom line, how do you play up and down the neck without getting lost? You just got to practice a little at a time, okay? So hopefully you have enough to practice. We just worked on 2 scales, and I know that I'm going to upload this video soon, and it's probably going to upload within 24 hours of the other video. But yeah, if you're not ready for this episode yet, don't force it, because you're going to put in all this time and you're going to listen to what I'm saying, but because you're rushing it, you're not going to actually be able to do what you're expecting yourself to do. Okay, so, and then you're going to blame me. Okay, so if you're not ready for this video yet, just stick to the previous one, work on that. When you start getting so bored with it because it's so easy, then you kind of start doing the next video or this video. Okay? So this is soloing part 2. I don't know, there might be like 4 parts, 5 parts, I don't know. Alright, so I'm gonna take a nap. So I hope this keeps you busy. I will upload this video and then I'll take a nap. I don't know why, it can take anywhere between 20 minutes and like 12 hours to upload a video to YouTube. I don't know why. Sometimes it's really quick and sometimes it takes really long. So this is actually my 3rd video already, but I uploaded the first 2, but it's still taking time. I don't know, but I'm gonna take a nap. All right, you guys, if you have any questions, leave it in the comments below, and I'll see you guys later.